Hey guys, it's Autumn here, and welcome to a little bit of a sketchy sketchbook video. I know I said I was going to try and do a 500 drawing prompts, but I honestly just don't have the time to sit and create a fully finished, fleshed out piece at the moment. So instead, we are doing this. We are designing an NPC for my campaign. So that goes, hopefully without saying, if you are part of my campaign, you know who you are. Don't watch. I don't want any spoilers to get revealed, and I don't want to ruin your play session because I needed a video. So, this is the second NPC that I was designing. It's a set of two. The first one is a female sort of fighter character who I really enjoy her design, but I did not share it here, just in case somebody happens to watch the video and they only get one villain instead of both of them ruined for them. So most of this video is in real time. I was going to record the voiceover while I was drawing. Sadly, I did not have the time to do that. I was kind of I sat down for half an hour to do it, and it was just very loud in my house. So instead of voiceover, instead of me talking while I work, you get a voiceover, which hopefully isn't too bad. So right now I'm just putting in the roughing out stages. I knew I wanted the character to be a druid and a wizard due to some events that have occurred in my campaign thus far, which would kind of require those two classes to merge in some capacity. So basing my NPC off of two traits that I knew I needed, I went in and I said, okay, so if he's going to be a wizard, probably a staff user, to play into the druid aspect, because druids also use focuses of a sort in order to cast their spells. So I married the two ideas and I said, okay, staff. And here I am trying to decide the clothing. Now, the clothing isn't necessarily a super important aspect of designing an NPC, but it's kind of how I come up with the character traits that I'm trying to draw out and make apparent for the party. So I ended up giving him, I don't even know what you call it, like a waist cape is what I'm going to call it, with one of those like tassely bits in the front over a pair of pants, just to kind of give that regal, presentory sort of look, like I'm more powerful than you and I know it, so you will dress me as so and treat me as such. And I kind of love the way that looks. It's not the last cape I gave him, though. I gave him another cape off of his shoulder pad situation. I was gonna go a pauldron, but I didn't like the idea of a pauldron for a druid or a wizard because they technically can't wear armor. I think druids can wear light armor, but I can also be incorrect about that. But I wanted some sort of presentory armor piece on top as well. So I went with this I don't even know. It's like a pseudo shoulder pad situation. And I wanted it to be kind of just that presentory. So it's got tiny trees on the top that I was told look like almost like antlers as well. So it's a good symbolism there. And then kind of a mossy texture across. I do go over this in a brush pen later so you can see more of the detailing that I'm talking about. But it's two trees and then moss across the top part, which I really and I give him like a crop top sort of armor chest plate deal. That's simply because I was watching Pub Draw the other day and I was drawing Ford along with Marisha and Babs. And Babs mentioned, oh, if we take out this midsection, you can just see his stomach. And I was like, that's kind of funny. And I kind of like that idea for like a druid who would be more comfortable with nature to not necessarily worry about having their stomach protected. So I went with that. And then here's the other cape. The other cape comes off of the shoulder pad situation. And then I go in and I start playing around with the staff. So my idea was the staff is metal, but it mimics the shape and design of like a branch. that someone might have found on the ground, and has that sort of look to it. And then it's got the focus, or the wizard focus at the top, and then there's plants kind of growing up along the rest of the staff to give it that druidic focus. So it harnesses the power and shoves it out, which I love as an idea. I gave him little bracers as well on his arms. I don't know if I'm to that part yet. I'm still kind of fritzing about with little details and such, because I played around with this sketch layer for a good while. A good 15 minutes maybe. I played with this sketch, pushing, pulling, trying to figure out precisely what I wanted, how I wanted it to look, if I liked the way it looked. So, after I'm done pushing and pulling this, I do go in with the black pen, but for his face, I wanted him to have kind of a more angled jaw, but with softer facial features. And then he's got a very close shave for his hair, which I'm going in and doing now. The idea was to give him a slightly green complexion, to give, not necessarily a sickly green, but like just like chlorophyll-y kind of, oh, there's a little bit of green to his skin. But I was also thinking more of a tan skin tone, so it kind of pushes it into that darker tan complexion with the hint of green to it, which I really like. I feel like that's a good look. And then his hair is, I marked it on here somewhere. His hair is like a green brown, sort of similar to the painting of Michael I did from this same campaign that I'm working on right now. He kind of has like greeny brown, but Michael's is more of a prevalent green, although I desaturated it quite a bit so it's not obnoxiously green. That's sort of where the idea for the green brown hair came in, was from Michael's character, because Michael is a druid. So going up against another druid who is maybe more comfortable in their power, a little more knowledgeable of the magical side of being a druid, is going to be a very interesting combination, given that my friend Kelsey, who plays Michael, is not used to playing as a magic user and is more so used to playing as like a fighter type character. So it'll be interesting to kind of show off what can be done with these powers. So I believe this is where I go in with my brush pen and I start touching things up. I think I start at the chest plate and the stomach area and move immediately into the top shoulder pad section. And it goes from looking like this very solidified kind of shape to fluff, or just like grass, and I love it. The brush pen is great for finalizing just ideas that I really like. I try not to do it too often, because then it kind of ruins the point of the sketchbook of having less finished things, but I like it to pop out elements of characters or finalizing characters that I think need it. And for this situation, it needed it because I knew I could go in with the brush pen and get the little tiny fluffy moss detailing that I wanted to kind of give that appearance that I needed. At least on video, because it's very pale, because using a purple coal erase does not show up well. But it is my favorite pencil to sketch with, so I can't complain too much. So I believe I left in all of the inking process, but at the end it does get sped up a bit just because it's me note-taking and kind of writing down the things that I want for this character, this villain. So I decided that this is a human character, which was something I was unsure of. I was almost thinking half-orc, orcish, something of that nature, but it ended up very humanoid. So my first note is lots of capes, which are very apparent because we've got the cape in the back and the cape off the waist, and then basically a front cape. I marked down that he's got the moss with the tiny trees coming off of it, and his bracers are green metal, just to kind of play off of the green that'll be everywhere else in the palette. but it'll be more of a deep, like a deep green sort of thing, as opposed to green. Like, the best example I can give is Terra Steel from freaking Britannia in Minecraft, but it won't be that green. He's about 6 foot, which means he's tall. He's actually taller than most of the party is, which is very funny. He's got bright gray eyes. I did this more so as a focal point to kind of bring forward the, hey, he may not be normal kind of feature. His hair, and for the most part, I decided that most of his clothing would be brown with certain little things popping with like either reds or purples, and I believe purple would probably look better with the green overtone, but I'm unsure with the brown, so it might be more of a ready purple when I go in and eventually decide on color scheme for this character. I also decided on a name, so Fairtall, Fairtall, or the Overgrowth, because we want him to be kind of terrifying. We want him to be more villainous sounding than the other villain is, because she just got a name. So, and most of the time druids come from families of druids, so I wanted to play off of maybe this is a title he earned from his family, and he is meant to be kind of this terrifying monster of a druid. But I'm looking forward to putting together his character sheet, because I haven't yet, and I haven't really talked about my process for putting together NPCs, I'm realizing, but in putting NPCs together, to get to the main point I wanted to talk about, I normally start off like this. I start drawing, I come up with, okay, what class do I need them to be? What levels am I looking at? What's going to be a realistic fight for the party? Or if it's not even an NPC that you're going to fight, it's what's a realistic level for this character? So if it's a blacksmith, what's a realistic level for this blacksmith? What's a realistic level for this enchanter? What's a realistic level for the jewelry shop owner? Things of that nature. Keep in mind the level of your characters, and keep in mind the level of just what makes sense for where they are, the area they're in, the amount of money within that area, the amount of fighting that's within that area. So that's something to keep in mind. It's also good to have an idea of what you want their role to be. If your party is heading in a certain direction and you need somebody who kind of meets them along the way and is like, hey, do you need help? Can I help you? Can I join in? Do you need an extra set of hands for the fight? Things like that are also good to keep in mind when you're creating a character. You don't want to create a character that your party should instantly fall in love with, because then they'll be suspicious. That's something I found out. Oh, that's also something I've experienced in watching things like Critical Role. If a member is instantly too nice or seems to be holding back information, it's less likely your party's going to trust them. So, and then another good thing is to just keep in mind that there is always the possibility your party will kill them, your party will turn against them, your party may not like the character or trust the character, and that's okay. That just means, okay, they didn't like this one, let me try again, let me see who else I can pull out of my hat. And always have extras. Always have backup characters that make sense to the party and make sense to keeping the party alive or attempting to kill the party, is the best way I can put it. So my two villains, my idea for them are, they work together. The female is the leader. She tells the druid what to do. The druid is less than pleased about this, but deals with it. They have an unspoken rule of he listens, he does his job, and then he can leave. So there's that. She has an overall goal within the campaign to do something. What that is, I will not share. And she has a realistic reason for wanting to fight it. It's going to sound crazy and horrific to the party, which is perfect. You want the party to think, oh my god, what is wrong with these people? these people could be us if we took the wrong path. It's a good way to kind of open their eyes to, we need to be more careful. I think we're being told we're doing the wrong thing a lot instead of doing the good thing a lot. So it's definitely fun, and I definitely enjoy creating characters like this. I apologize if this wasn't as informative as you would have hoped for creating an NPC. I didn't want to walk through creating a character sheet, because that in itself is a whole other beast. I mean, I suppose with working on D&D Beyond most of the time for my character sheets, it's not bad, but it still takes quite a while to put together a character sheet that I'm happy with and decide upon a level and spells and things of that nature, especially for magic users. So I want to thank you guys so much for sticking with me in this rather long video, given my normal length of videos that I create, but I felt like a longer, sketchy video would be better for something of this topic. If you guys have any questions on creating your own NPCs, go ahead and let me know in the comments down below. I'm more than happy to answer questions about creating NPCs, or if you just need help coming up with a good design, I can shoot some ideas your way. Thank you guys again so much for listening, and I'll see you guys in next week's video. Bye, everyone!
Hey guys, if you like this video, be sure to check out another one over there, and if you want to see the full playlist for this series, check out over here. Thank you for watching, and subscribe if you like, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye everyone!